The Dolby Theatre were blazing. The cameras were rolling, and millions of viewers around the world were watching as the 98th Academy Awards officially kicked off. And when it comes to opening the biggest night in Hollywood, you need someone who can command the stage, deliver sharp humor, and keep an entire room of A-list celebrities laughing. That responsibility fell on the shoulders of the legendary comedian Conan O'Brien. Known for his quick wit and fearless comedic style, Conan stepped onto the Oscar stage with the kind of confidence that only decades of late-night television experience can create. But what happened next turned the opening monologue into one of the most talked-about moments of the night. Standing under the bright lights, Conan O'Brien greeted the audience with his signature grin and immediately set the tone for the evening. The crowd erupted into applause as he introduced himself to viewers around the world. Hosting the Academy Awards is considered one of the most prestigious and nerve-wracking jobs in entertainment, and Conan leaned directly into the pressure with humor. He joked that he was honored to be hosting the ceremony, and even teased that he might be the last human host of the Oscars. With technology advancing so quickly, he laughed that the next host might not even be a person at all. That opening joke instantly set the room into laughter. It was classic Conan O'Brien, self-aware, playful, and just a little bit absurd. But he didn't stop there. Conan warned the audience that the night could potentially get political. Award shows and politics have often collided in recent years, and Conan acknowledged that possibility in the most hilarious way possible. If anyone in the audience felt uncomfortable with political humor, he said there was always an alternative ceremony happening nearby. According to Conan's joke, that alternative Oscars was supposedly being hosted by Kid Rock at a Dave & Buster's down the street. The line instantly triggered waves of laughter throughout the room and across social media. The absurd mental image of a rock star hosting a rival Oscar ceremony inside a gaming arcade perfectly captured the wild tone Conan wanted for the night. From the very beginning, it was clear that this monologue wasn't going to be a safe or predictable opening. Conan O'Brien thrives on unexpected punchlines, and he compared hosting the Oscars to driving a luxury sports car. He described the experience like getting the chance to drive a Maserati at full speed. For a comedian who had spent decades on late-night television, being trusted with the stage of the Academy Awards was both thrilling and surreal. Then, Conan turned the spotlight on something that always fascinates him during award shows: the acceptance speeches. Every year, viewers watch emotional winners walk up to the stage and humbly thank their families, co-workers, and supporters. Conan admitted that he has always been amazed by how gracious Oscar winners manage to be in those moments. But then, he flipped the idea into a hilarious fantasy. Conan imagined what it would be like if he were the one nominated for an Oscar. In his imagination, the envelope would be opened and the winner announced, and instead of a typical acceptance speech, the announcement would reveal Conan O'Brien himself as the winner. The imaginary crowd erupted into applause as Conan humorously acted out the moment. In his exaggerated scenario, people would begin praising him as if he were the greatest performer of all time. The moment became a playful parody of the emotional speeches that usually happen on the Academy Awards stage. It was both self-deprecating and ridiculously over the top, which made it even funnier for the audience. But the monologue didn't just rely on Conan's jokes alone. Throughout the opening segment, several surprise appearances helped bring the comedy to life. One of the most memorable came from singer Josh Groban, who joined in on the playful energy surrounding Conan's imaginary Oscar victory. The cameo added a musical twist to the moment and made the opening even more entertaining. The presence of Josh Groban highlighted one of the most interesting aspects of the night. This wasn't just a sketch, it was almost like a mini comedy sketch happening right in the middle of the Academy Awards. Conan had clearly planned something bigger than a typical monologue, and the audience loved every second of it. Behind the scenes, the creative team working on the Oscars had spent weeks preparing for this moment. According to insiders involved in the production, Conan had pitched a bold and unusual opening concept. He wanted something playful, surprising, and filled with unexpected celebrity interactions. For many performers, participating in a comedy bit at the Academy Awards can feel intimidating, but when Conan calls with a funny idea, it's hard to say no. One of the celebrities who enthusiastically joined the plan was Leonardo DiCaprio. Known as one of the most respected actors in Hollywood, DiCaprio has also become something of a meme icon on the internet over the years. Conan cleverly leaned into that reputation during the monologue. At one point in the show, Leonardo DiCaprio appeared alongside his girlfriend, Vittoria Ceretti. Conan seized the opportunity to create a brand new meme right there on the spot. The comedian jokingly told the audience that they were about to capture a classic internet reaction moment. As the cameras focused on DiCaprio, Conan joked about the expression people make when they suddenly realized they didn't agree to be part of a joke. The crowd roared with laughter as the camera captured DiCaprio's reaction. It was a perfect blend of celebrity culture and internet humor, proving once again that Conan understands exactly how modern audiences consume entertainment. Another actor who became part of the comedic spotlight was Michael B. Jordan. Conan couldn't resist praising his charisma and popularity. In fact, he joked that the Oscars had arranged a very special surprise involving Jordan. According to Conan's playful announcement, every single seat filler in the audience that night would be replaced by Michael B. Jordan. The idea was obviously impossible, but the mental image alone was enough to send the audience into hysterics. The cameras even cut to multiple shots of Jordan around the theater, turning the joke into a running gag. The comedy also took aim at one of Hollywood's rising stars, Timothée Chalamet. The young actor has built a reputation as one of the most talented performers of his generation. But at the Oscars, nobody is completely safe from the host's jokes. During his monologue, Conan O'Brien referenced the comment that Timothée Chalamet had made about classical arts forms. According to Conan, Chalamet had suggested that audiences today don't care as much about traditional art forms like ballet or opera anymore. That statement gave Conan the perfect comedic opening. He joked that security at the Academy Awards had been increased dramatically that evening, but it wasn't because of typical celebrity security concerns. Instead, Conan claimed the real threat came from angry members of the opera and ballet communities who were upset about Chalamet's comment. The idea that ballet dancers and opera singers might launch an attack on the Oscars was so ridiculous that the audience immediately burst into laughter. Someone even shouted from the crowd that Conan had forgotten to mention jazz musicians as well, which added another unexpected punchline to the moment. Beyond the jokes, the energy inside the Dolby Theatre felt electric. Award shows can sometimes feel stiff or overly formal, but Conan's humor kept the atmosphere loose and playful. Celebrities who are used to serious interviews and glamorous red carpets suddenly found themselves laughing at ridiculous scenarios and unexpected punchlines. Even companies became the target of Conan's humor. At one point, he joked about Amazon Studios receiving 0 nominations that year. In typical Conan fashion, he framed the joke in the most absurd way possible. He asked the audience why the website where he orders toilet paper wasn't winning more Oscars. The line perfectly captured Conan's comedic style, taking a serious industry topic and twisting it into something completely ridiculous. Moments like that reminded viewers why Conan O'Brien has remained one of the most beloved comedians in television. But amid all the jokes, Conan also showed another side of himself. Toward the end of the monologue, the comedian shifted his tone slightly. The laughter faded as he addressed the audience with a more sincere message. He acknowledged that the world outside the glamorous walls of the Academy Awards was going through uncertain and chaotic times. News headlines around the world have been filled with tension and fear in recent years, and Conan recognized that reality. Rather than ignoring it, he explained why celebrations like the Oscars still matter. According to Conan O'Brien, events like the Academy Awards allow people to pause, appreciate creativity, and hope for better days ahead. His message was simple but powerful. The entertainment industry doesn't celebrate because everything in the world is perfect. Instead, artists and audiences celebrate because they believe in the possibility of improvement and progress. That moment of sincerity added emotional depth to the monologue. It reminded viewers that behind the jokes and celebrity appearances, there was also a deeper purpose to the night. By the time the opening monologue ended, Conan O'Brien had delivered exactly what the Academy Awards needed: laughter, unpredictability, and the little bit of heartfelt perspective. From roasting Timothée Chalamet to joking with Leonardo DiCaprio and Michael B. Jordan, Conan managed to involve some of the biggest names in Hollywood while keeping the audience completely entertained. The opening set the stage for a night filled with awards, surprises, emotional speeches, and unforgettable moments. But long after the winners were announced and the camera stopped rolling, one thing remained clear: the host had completely owned the stage. And in true Conan O'Brien fashion, he did it with a combination of wild humor, clever celebrity interactions, and just a little bit of sincerity to remind everyone why storytelling and creativity matter in the first place.